Hello, Mike Turner here, Roll the Page Turner Realty. Just got the market stats for the end of August and just wanted to give a quick little market update. So, just gonna minimize my video here now so I can show you what's happening. Okay, so I'm just going to minimize that for now. Okay, so these stats are for the town of Gander as of the end of August, so January to August. And I'd like to start with this one just because it kind of shows the market over time. So this goes back the past 10 years. So as you can see, the green line here, this is the average sale price. And you can see it sort of bounces around. And you can see the blue columns that you see here are the number of sales. So price on this side, number of sales on this side. So what we have is you can see this is just the end of August, with this is all 2024. So I'm thinking 2025 is going to be better than 2024. We're still got a couple of months left and we're closing in. We're certainly not going to be up to the sales levels of COVID. But you can see in the past, it's like 100 sale jump for 2 years, which was very abnormal. So we're really back to normal sales levels, but we also have very low inventory from all of these elevated sales levels. So that's really what's driving up price. So you can see here the average sale price now is 360, which is a record for the town of Gander. And I'll get more into detail on some of this stuff a little bit later. But right now, I just want to jump into the actual stats. So looking at A1V, which is the postal code for Gander, we're going to start with the average days on market. So this is a good indicator of how the market's doing because it really shows basically how long it takes from a house hitting the market to when it's sold. So August right now we're seeing 50 days, 50.8. And then in 2024 is 72.9. So houses tend to be selling a little bit faster this year compared to last year. It's actually a drop of 30%. And in this case, a drop is good because the faster you sell your house typically indicates the better market is normally the way it's looked at. So that's days on market. The next one we'll look at is the average sale price, and I just kind of spoke to it quickly there. But what I'm doing here is I'm showing 2 year overlap, so you can see, and actually maybe what I'll do is a 5 year overlap, just to kind of show prices. So 2021 is the yellow line, 2022 is the purple, 2023 is orange, 2024 is green, and then the black line is 2025. So as you can see, we're at record prices, certainly well above 5 years ago, and that is certainly an indication of the market that we're in, which is very low inventory. There's typically bidding wars, multiple offers. It's really driving up price because of the lack of inventory, which I'll get into in a few minutes. So that is the average sale price, units sold, and you can see we've had a good summer. There was 35 houses closed in July and 25 houses closed in August. So a little bit later coming this year. I think with the tariff and all the uncertainty early in the spring, it was a pretty slow spring. But once that sort of worked itself out, the market, picked up, and we've had a fairly busy summer for closing. So you can see August this year is up 108% compared to August last year, and July was up 52%. So it's been a very busy summer, but you can see it was a slower spring to start the year. So that's units sold, and then the last one I want to look at is number that sold at or above 100%. So what this means is houses that are selling list or above, and you can see August of 2025 there were 11. In July there were 8, and that's a fairly high number for Gander to have so many houses selling at or above list price. And just to look at 100%, so anything at 100% or above You can see for August was actually almost 40, well, it's 44%. So almost half the houses that are selling, because I mean, not everything that goes on the market sells, but this tracks anything that has sold. So anything that went on the market in the spring that sold, half of it basically went for list or above. So very not normal, very atypical of Gander. Typically, there's a little bit of negotiating room. There's a bit more inventory typically on the market. So not a whole lot of negotiating happening right now. So just something to be aware of if you're buying. If the house is priced right, you're probably paying list price for it. Is the way to kind of put it. So just going back to Matrix, you can see the historic count of sales and everything. So I'm just going to go back to my presets here, and this graph is not great, but hang on now. I just got to generate something quickly to get that one back. Okay, so active listings. So this is a little bit, I won't say misleading, but it's the way that we track active listings is a little bit typically higher than most places. So right now they're saying in August we are 113 active listings, which is very high. So there's something not right with these numbers. Um, Let me jump over to the matrix here. And I'm going to do a search. Just let me go residential search. And I am going to look for Gander. Oops. And I'm going to take off conditional pending. And I'm going to take off. No, because they got a house to sell. So we're actually looking at 40 houses currently on the market in Gander. So that is very low. That's all property types. That includes new construction. So 40 houses currently for sale in Gander. And here's the Korea HPI. So what this does is tracks price, but as a benchmark price as opposed to the average. So it sort of takes out those highs and lows. And so right now the average sale or the HPI price is 344,600. But as you can see, it's been quite a run up since COVID. And as inventory has gone down, prices have gone straight up. So jumping over to CMHC, this is the housing information portal. So what this does is track housing starts. So this is as of the end of Q2 because we'll get Q3 stats soon. And so what we're seeing is so far, I'm going to just pop that graph out. So 2024, there were 16 housing starts in Q2. 2025, there are 15 housing starts. And as you can expect, January, February, March, and a whole lot of people starting houses. So last year, this time, there were 16 houses started. This year, there are 15. Obviously, Q3 is probably a busier month for housing starts, so I'm sure that will go up. But looking more at the overall stats, and I'm just going to jump over to look at more historical, and I'm going to go quarterly, apply, and historical period right here. Back to annual, apply, and we're just going to look at the chart for that one. So you can see there was a big building boom back here in the 2029, 28, leading up to 2011. 143 houses built in one year. I remember that was very, very crazy. And then you can see things have gone down considerably since then. There was a big pop here. I think this was when one of the main streets for the senior uh, cottages were built, so that was quite a high number. But you can see it's been trending down ever since. So last year we had a little bit of a pop. We're up to 37. So if we're tracking last year, I'm expecting it to be somewhere around there. So we are seeing a little bit more new construction, but certainly not enough to keep up with population and the very low inventory. So that's what's really putting that pressure on prices, which is what's driving up this graph, which is the average price, and just seeing how it's trending at record highs, right, for last year and this year. And I think until we get a little more inventory and supply in the market, prices are probably going to either go up or, if anything else, go sideways. So, if you have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. You can give me or a member of my team a call. We'll be happy to go through everything. If you're looking at selling, we can explain, how to get your house ready for the market, do a CMA, show you what's happening, the best tools to get the maximum price. And then if you're buying, the opposite, you got to kind of be pre-approved. You're probably going to be competing with other people, so you need to be ready and you need to understand the market. And if a house hits the market, as you can see here with the days on market, they're typically not lasting very long. So anything priced properly, when it hits the market, it's sold fairly quickly. So if you're thinking about buying, then you really need to be ready to go in this low inventory environment. Okay, thank you very much. And if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. You can give me a call anytime. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.